if you're like me sometimes and you start procrastinating and you just don't get anything done and the day goes and you think, oh my God, what's happened? It's that time already and I've done nothing. Well, here's my top 3 tips of how I then get things done. So my first tip, number 1, is I plan everything meticulously. Now, I don't always stick to the plan. I'm not going to start pretending to you that I'm brilliant and that I do everything as I say. But these are my kind of things that I try and do, and I do stick to them about 90% of the time. So what I do is I sit down with my assistant and we work out what I'm doing for that month, what I want to try and achieve for that month, and where that is within my business, my goals, what I want to do. And then I work that back throughout the month. So I know where I want to be at the end of the month, basically, and then I work that back, chunk it back into different things that we need to do. So we work out, okay, so what videos do we want to do and why and what's interesting. I've got equipment coming in, so I need to know, okay, I'll plan a video for then, and then I need to get that shipped in and do that. So it's about getting a plan and knowing what you're doing. The reason why that's so good is because if you can set those goalposts throughout the year, by the end of the 12 months, you've actually achieved quite a lot. There's a lot of times in the past in my life where I haven't planned anything at all. Life just drifts by and nothing ever changes, and I get on this plateau, and I did that for years, and I'd be on a plateau of earning the same money, of having the same clients and not actually moving anywhere, just kind of, spinning the wheels, so to speak, which is fine at a certain point in your life, but really you want to be kind of edging it up every month and edging it up every year, and then by the end of your life maybe you might have achieved something that you're proud of. But let's work it back just a little bit smaller. So really that's just about planning. It's about working out what you want to do, giving yourself a certain amount of time every day to do those things, like this, that I do these videos, and like when I do get equipment in to listen to, or if I've got to go and speak to clients, or if I'm doing networking or whatever I want to do, what I'm trying to achieve, then I work that out with my assistant, and then we kind of work through what we're going to have to do. So that leads me on to my second tip, which is do what you mean to do, because it's very easy to then plan all this out and then don't do it. And like I say, I'm not perfect. 90% of the time I try and usually achieve what I want to do, but that's more a fact of really having to force myself, because I really can't be bothered. And a lot of the time, for me, a lot of the stuff that I want to do that's outside of mastering, within the world of mastering, but not actual mastering, it means that mastering takes longer. And so it's harder for me to then, for example, in the mornings, it's easier for me to get things done that isn't to do with my mastering. Because the mastering I find quite creative and very easy for me to do, but also it's very time consuming, because I never want to give a amount of time that I take to one track. The track takes as long as it takes. So it's very difficult to then think, okay, well, if I do all this mastering first, then at the end of the day, I'll have time to do the other things, where for a long time that hasn't worked, because by the time the end of the day comes, you've probably run really over. I've then got the family in my ear about getting home and all other sorts of things happening. And so then all the things that I wanted to do that were part of my bigger plan have kind of gone out the window for the day, and they go to the next day, but I've already got stuff planned for that day. And so really it's like I try and get all my stuff done in the morning that's to do with, all this kind of thing and other stuff that I do. Get that done in the morning, and then in the afternoons I then really hone in on the mastering, and then I let that can go for quite a while. I've got certain times, I sort of block out times for different people as if each track is a meeting. That's how I sort of mentally scope it out. And so I know roughly it's going to take me between half an hour and an hour per track, so then I can kind of see where I'm going, but usually it goes over. Sometimes if it's a good mix then it can be quicker, but sometimes the good mixes take you even longer. So that's kind of forcing yourself to do stuff is really important. And the way that I get that self-discipline is kind of forcing it on myself. So by having the time in the morning to do stuff, it forces me into a situation to do. So that's really all I'm trying to say, is you have to have that self-discipline, and by giving yourself certain times and knowing how you work and how your schedule works, it's really in a good way of sort of getting that stuff done, and then you're chunking out all that productivity that you had from my tip number 1, which was to plan out. So that leads me on to step number 3, which is seeing all of the stats and all of the things and working out from my plan and realizing if I've achieved that stuff. So although you need to find the time to do it, and then you need to celebrate the wins, basically. So by the end of the month, I keep a note of everywhere I'm going, all of my stats, all my figures, all my money, everything that's happening, all the things that I want to achieve. Did I achieve them? I just have a real look at what I was doing at the end of that month and go, okay, great. I've moved forward, I achieved all the things I wanted to achieve on my plan, now on with the next plan. And so it's really important to have that time to look back, because then you know you're going somewhere and you have that sense of achievement, and it's just knowing that you're getting somewhere. Because ultimately, if you don't do that, you just kind of spin the wheels a bit and you'll get kind of put off and distracted and feel a little bit downbeat about stuff. So it's really important just to have that time to reflect on what's happened that month, hit your goals, set your goals bigger for the next month on stuff you want to do personally and business wise. And so those 3 tips are how I get things done. Plan it, do it, and celebrate the achievements. I hope that helps you. Please let me know any productivity hacks you have in the comments below. Please subscribe and please like the video. If you like this kind of thing, go to streaky.com, sign up for the Audio Anoraks newsletter. It's only once a month. I won't spam you. So it's discounts and giveaways and things. So thanks for watching. Till next time, remember to go to streaky.com. Goodbye.